If you like collecting Doctor Who on VHS, then this is the video for you. I have 3 new Doctor Who VHSs to add to my collection. So without any further ado, let's get into it today on the Doctor Who Guide.
You are watching the Doctor Who Guide.
Now, this top shelf is all UK VHSs. So these are PAL VHSs. You actually need a PAL VHS player, which I don't have and is very expensive and hard to track down in the US. Most of these are from the incredible Adam Martin, AMTV, who sent those to me from the UK. And some of these I got while I was in the UK back in 2023. And I might just pick up some more VHSs on my return trip, which is happening this September through October, November, and mid-December. I'd love your ideas for what to visit and explore while I'm there. What Doctor Who events, conventions should I go to? What filming locations should I check out? What stores should I visit? If you've got a guest room and you don't mind having a Doctor Who YouTuber stay over, that would be epic. Let me know. Let's get into this collection. You know, it's funny right now. I've got my question mark umbrella with my light attached to it. The first thing I got to do is make room. And so I'm going to have to take this awesome... Oh, I've had it facing out the wrong way this whole time. This awesome limited edition tin. And I'm going to have to find another spot to display that. But it opens up room. If I move these two up there, I've got a gap here, so hopefully that'll work out for giving me room. I have here the Android Invasion and the Aztecs on VHS, and these two have different logos. They're different releases to the ones on my shelf. My brother got them for me. There's way more VHS releases than just these that have re-releases I recently discovered, so I have a lot more to add to the shelf, it turns out. First one I've got to fit in is the Aztecs. It's a double, but for now, we've got an Unearthly Child, the Daleks, the Edge of Destruction, the Keys of Marinus, the Aztecs with the CBS Fox video logo, and now I'm putting on the shelf the Aztecs with the BBC video logo. That looks so cool to have the 2 different versions there. And then I have the Sensorites in the End of the Universe box set, but I do want to track down the sold separately version of it, which is the same. It looks the same. I believe there's no logo differences. I'm going to reference this a lot in the video. This is my End of the Universe Collection VHS box set. It's a very rare set going for around $200, and it collects the last stories to be released in the US on VHS. And then I have the Reign of Terror, Planet of Giants, the Dalek Invasion of Earth, the Rescue and the Romans, the Web Planet, the Time Meddler, the Ark, the War Machine, the 10th Planet, the Tomb of the Cybermen, the Dominators, the Mind Robber, the Invasion, the Crotons, and the Seeds of Death. Then we come to this shelf, and I have the War Games, Spearhead from Space, Doctor Who and the Silurians. The Ambassadors of Death is part of the End of the Universe, so I have that in the set, but not on the shelf yet. Inferno. See, with the second and first Doctor, I mean, there's so few second Doctor VHSs, but even with the first Doctor VHSs, we know that the missing episodes, there were no animated versions. If there's a missing episode, likely it's not on VHS, with a couple exceptions, like, Reign of Terror. But when it gets to the third Doctor, fourth Doctor, fifth Doctor, sixth Doctor, seventh Doctors, you can expect to see in the US VHS releases a release for each story. So I love having the End of the Universe collection. I'm not going to split it up on the shelf. The whole point is that it's in an incredibly large box set. So I really love that I can now add Invasion of the Dinosaurs onto the shelf and just help fill out those gaps. Doctor Who Guide memberships gives you early access to Doctor Who Guide videos. You also get Who-inspired loyalty badges. They regenerate with you after certain periods of time. Some of those are also emojis that you can use. Next up, we have Terror of the Autons, The Mind of Evil, The Claws of Axos, Colony in Space, and The Demons. So a complete Season 8, The Day of the Daleks, The Curse of Peladon, The Sea Devils, I don't have the mutants, that's in the End of the Universe, The Time Monster, still sealed, The Three Doctors, Carnival of Monsters, Frontier in Space, Planet of the Daleks, The Green Death, The Time Warrior, which it's one of the rare examples in my collection of a VHS with the Playhouse video logo. There are quite a few that have the Playhouse Video logo, but it seems to me, in my collecting journey anyway, that the BBC Video and the CBS Fox logos are more prevalent. But you can see the different designs here. This is where we now come to the spot on the shelf where Invasion of the Dinosaurs should go. So I'm going to see if I can just scooch these over. But no, I need to take one off of this shelf. We're going to take Horror of Fang Rock out. And we'll take Kinda out for now. Put that on the next shelf. And then we can scooch this over. So we now have the Time Warrior and Invasion of the Dinosaurs. That is so satisfying to not have that gap anymore. Death to the Daleks, The Monster of Peladon, Planet of the Spiders. So now I have a complete Season 11 VHS collection and a complete Season 10. Now we come to the Fourth Doctor with Robot. Boba Tennant will love that. The Ark in Space, The Centauran Experiment and Genesis of the Daleks, and Revenge of the Cybermen. No stories missing from Season 12. Terror of the Zygons, plus the Terror of the Zygons re-release. One of them has the episodes in a compilation edit, so just the first theme and the last credits. The other has the episodes all in 4 separate parts with 4 themes and 4 credits. Then we have Planet of Evil, Pyramids of Mars, the Pyramids of Mars Gateway Collection re-release. Then we come to the Android Invasion, which is the other VHS that we are updating the collection with. Oh, I need to take another VHS out. So now we can put the re-release of the Android Invasion on the shelf too, with the different BBC Video logo, but 2 of them. That's so cool. Oh my gosh, you can see one has the CBS Fox logo and one doesn't. That's so cool. Then there's the Brain of Morbius, the Brain of Morbius Collector's Edition, the Seeds of Doom, the Mask of Mandragora, the Hand of Fear, the Deadly Assassin, the Face of Evil, the Robots of Death, with quite a bit of sun damage, as you can tell. That's how it arrived to me. The Talons of Wang Chiang. Yes, I'm going to have to move this one down a level. All right, so first up here, we have the Gateway Collection re-release of the Talons of Wang Chiang. Then I have Horror of Fang Rock, Image of the Fendel. The Invisible Enemy is part of the End of the Universe collection. The Sunmakers, Underworld, and the Invasion of Time. The Ribos Operation, The Pirate Planet, The Stones of Blood, The Stones of Blood Gateway Collection Edition, The Androids of Tara, The Power of Kroll, The Armageddon Factor, Destiny of the Daleks, City of Death Gateway Collection re-release, Nightmare of Eden. The Horns of Naimon is in the End of the Universe collection, as well as The Creature from the Pit, Shada, The Leisure Hive, the E-Space Trilogy box set, which has Full Circle, State of Decay, and Warrior's Gate. Then I have The Keeper of Traken and Castrovalva. All right, now I'm going to have to take this off of the shelf, move it down a level to make room for the 2 from up above. Slide these down, because next I have For to Doomsday, Kinda, The Visitation and Black Orchid, Earthshock, Time Flight, Arc of Infinity, Snake Dance, Modern Undead, Terminus, Enlightenment, The 5 Doctors Collector's Edition and The King's Demons, The 5 Doctors, Warriors of the Deep, The Awakening and Frontios, Resurrection of the Daleks, Planet of Fire, The Caves of Androzani, The Twin Dilemma, Attack of the Cybermen, Vengeance on Varos, The Mark of the Rani, The 2 Doctors, and Time Lash. Time to see if we've made enough room on this shelf. Here we have Revelation of the Daleks, The Trial of a Time Lord, Limited Edition. We didn't get any tins here, though. Time and the Rani, Paradise Towers, Delta and the Bannerman, Dragonfire, Remembrance of the Daleks, and The Chase on this limited edition box set. You can see that there. The Happiness Patrol, Silver Nemesis, The Greatest Show in the Galaxy, Battlefield, Ghostlight, The Curse of Fenric, and Survival. Then I have the Hartnell Years. This is what's on the Hartnell Years. I have the Troughton Years. This is what's included on the Troughton Years. The Pertwee Years. This is what's included on the Pertwee Years. The Tom Baker Years. This is what's included on the Tom Baker Years. Colin Baker Years. This is what's included on the Colin Baker Years. Daleks, The Early Years. This is what's included on Daleks, The Early Years. And Cybermen, The Early Years. This is what's included on Cybermen, The Early Years. For the US, I also have More Than 30 Years in the TARDIS, K9 and Company. This is also a US release for the Crusade and the Space Museum. And this is a release for the Ice Warriors, the Home Whovian. So you can pause and read about that. But for UK PAL VHSs, I have An Unearthly Child, An Unearthly Child Re-Release, The Aztecs, The War Machines, Frontier in Space, The Time Warrior, The Mask of Mandragora, The Face of Evil, The Invisible Enemy, The Sunmakers, Kinda, Arc of Infinity, The Mark of the Rani, Time Lash, and the TV movie on VHS, which we never got in the US. There are no new updates to this collection, which is kind of like an expanded universe Mythmakers collection here. So I might throw in some footage from a previous collection video.
The Airzone Solution, Downtime, I Was a Doctor Who Monster, Auton 3, Canine Unleashed, Do You Have a License to Save This Planet, The Doctor's 30 Years of Time Travel and Beyond, The Zero Imperative, The Stranger in Memory Alone, Wartime, The Stranger, Eye of the Beholder Part 1, Soul's Arc, Return to Devil's End, The Doctor's 30 Years of Time Travel and Beyond, Doctor Who Daleks Invasion Earth 2150 AD, United FanCon Part 1 and Part 2, The Mythmakers Volume 4, Mythmakers Volume 5, Mythmakers Volume 8, Mythmakers Volume 9, Mythmakers Volume 10, Mythmakers Volume 12. Then we have these custom loose cannon reconstruction VHS tapes, Marco Polo, The Chase, Galaxy 4, Mission to the Unknown, The Mythmakers, The Massacre, The Celestial Toymaker, The Savages, The Smugglers, Power of the Daleks, The Highlanders, The Macra Terror, Remembrance of the Daleks, the TV movie, and the TV movie again, and Dimensions in Time, and The Curse of Fatal Death.
The TARDIS VHS tin is now going to go up top. So there you go. That's the top shelf now updated even further. And this is what the new VHS shelf looks like. First and second Doctor basically taking up the first shelf now with a double Aztecs, and then the third Doctor takes up the second shelf. Fourth Doctor fills up the next shelf. We've got Invasion of the Dinosaurs now on this shelf and a double Android Invasion. Then we have more of the Fourth Doctor taking up the next entire shelf basically. Then we have the Fifth Doctor up to the Sixth Doctor as well, pretty much, and the Seventh Doctor on the bottom shelf there. Comment down below with what you've recently added to your collection. Thanks so much for watching. Stay safe, keep growing your knowledge collection and connection with other Doctor Who fans. Albert the Adipose says hello, and we both hope to see you in the next video. Bye!
Don't forget to subscribe to the Doctor Who Guide YouTube channel. Now,
don't forget to subscribe to the Doctor Who Guide YouTube channel. You know it makes sense.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Doctor Who Guide YouTube channel.
Hello. Don't forget to subscribe to the Doctor Who YouTube channel guide.
You are watching the Doctor Who Guide.